up. And so that means sometimes we're not going to have trades. That means sometimes we're not going to get that action that we're looking for. Oh, Facebook could be in play, right? So, you know, we do have opportunities here still, right? We still have a chance, right? Here's that low vol candle, right? Relative compared to previous bar, right? Kind of that nasty looking shape, right? To the downside, you know, if this is, imagine the body is an arrow, right? This arrow is pointing down, not up. So that's interesting. We've got space towards that 206.35 potentially. Again, those 205s look pretty good. 200s look pretty good on Facebook, and the 210s look pretty good. Okay, again, maybe not the best candle there. But inside bar is fine. Double inside bar, so I'll be okay interested in this. There's that there's that SPY touch. Interesting. All right, guys, I am in Facebook here. Average price 282 on those 205 puts. So let's see if this thing now wants to sell off and give us a little bit of follow through. Stop loss will be, like I said, 10% on this, and let's see if this thing can flush. Great start here. Wow, great start. So now let's see if this thing can give us a big pop here. Right, if it gets through $3, I'm going to look to take a little bit off. Right, and protect entry. So taking a little bit off here, guys, at $3. There we go. So locking in some profit. Stop loss now on my remainder is going to be at entry price, 282. Right, and let's see if this thing can keep running down. I'm going to actually go 290, just give myself a little bit of space. Stop loss 290 here on my remainder. And let's see if this thing can give us some big follow through. But that's exactly what we're looking for, right? Waited for that A+, waited for that little pullback. Now we have that insurance for any low of day breakdown. And hopefully we can get some nice follow through. Looks safe. SPY gave us that exact same setup, right? Gave us that exact same look. So you'd be banking on that too if you hit that touch, right? So we're doing pretty well here, guys, right? That patience is paying off. Hopefully we can keep getting a bit more here and kind of get to a pretty aggressive flush. But we've done pretty well timing that entry. We sniped it pretty well. So hopefully we can keep getting a little bit of follow through. Let me know if you guys caught this. Hopefully a few of you guys are in this as well. And then we can kind of turn this into a really, really nice day. Like I said, stop loss on my remainder here on this Facebook is at 290. And let's see if this thing can make low of day break and really give us that big flush. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Lord, I don't know if you're in the stream, but please use the YouTube chat for any questions. So if you don't know what strike to look at or what strike I'm looking at, please use the YouTube chat, because I don't see the Discord necessarily during the day. Right? I don't see it same time. So please use the YouTube chat. So guys, great shape here so far right on this Facebook. Fantastic shape here so far on this Facebook. Let's see if this thing wants to keep selling here, right? Let's see if this thing wants to keep selling. Anyone else catch this with me? Hey, Rich. So Wednesdays I do free streams for everyone, but this is normally day in, day out like this for all of us. For members only. So guys, I'm gonna take a little bit more off here, guys, at this 370 here. Right? Let's go. Let's go, right? So we're looking great here, guys, right? I've locked in a little bit more profit. Apologies, I was disconnected to my, disconnected to my YouTube. My Google account logged me out. So apologies for that, guys. Apologies if I missed your questions. Stop loss now here on my remainder is going to be at 330. And let's see if this thing can keep running, right? What a monster trade. So now we don't have to do too much, right? We just have to sit and wait, watch this, right? See how this is behaving. And just let this turn into a really nice day, right? We don't need to overtrade. We don't need to force anything. We had that insurance here on that sell-off. Let's go, guys, right? Let's go. So let's see if we can keep getting that follow through. Let's see if we can keep getting that action. But we're in great shape here all of a sudden, right? We got that big flush. Now we're looking for that 205 touch. And let's see if we can keep going here, right? We have a chance at 100% on this play. So let's see if this thing can give us that big pop, right? Good job, everyone who caught this. Yeah, dude, no worries, Taja, no worries. So, yeah, I mean, I try to give that entry target here on the underlying, and then it's essentially like a pseudo market order in. But you'll get the pace here pretty quick, Lord. Don't worry. So good job, everyone, right? Good job for those who've caught this. This is turning into a monster play. I'm going to take a little bit more off here and be left with approximately half of my original position. So locking in a little bit more at that 420 because today it is 420. So why not? And so there we go. Locked in a little bit more profit there, guys, and taking a bit more so you can get that big flush continuation. Stop loss here on my remainder is going to be at, we'll call it 380. Stop loss 380 on my remaining half. And let's see if this thing can flush. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Yeah, so essentially I do market orders. So when it's like approaching to it, so when it was like here at this 208.80, or 208, sorry, 208 price. The price was like 290 on the contracts. So I just hit that price. That was my sort of max limit. Then when it touched that target, just hit order. So I basically have a limit order. If I get 290 or less, then I'm happy to sort of jump in. Hey, don't worry, JJ, man. If you want to join with us, right, we trade like this day in, day out. So there's always going to be another trade. There's always going to be another setup, right? Don't need to force it. Don't need to rush it. And that's essentially how we do it. But great job, guys, right? What a play. What a start to the day, right? That patience paid off, right? That patience paid off. When we wait for that A+, when we wait for that easy play, right? Like I talked about, nice work, Max. Nice work. That's sick. So, guys, when we wait for that patience, right? When we wait for things to set up, right? We're talking about who want that easy follow through, right? We want that easy price action. And that's exactly what we got here on this Facebook, right? We went from 280 to 450 on these contracts in, 7 minutes? Right? So not a big deal, guys, right? Like this is the way we want to trade. We want to have that stress-free action. Hey, JG, don't worry, man. There's always going to be another setup. If you're new to the stream, right, maybe it's going to take you a couple days to sort of get used to the flow of things, to get used to how to set up the pace. But I'm not going anywhere, right? Market's not going anywhere. So we're always going to have opportunities, and we're always going to wait for our A+ looks. So good job, everyone, right, who's in this. Welcome to DTR Wednesday. For those of you who want to trade with me day in, day out, and sort of get like Discord alerts, all that kind of stuff, the link is up there in the start. Our link is in the description there on where to join. And you can get started for only $1, right? So don't worry, guys, right? Market's not going anywhere. If we have another setup, right, good trades give us multiple points of entry. And getting big wins to a certain degree is an element of luck to it. So good job, guys, right? Way to crush it. Way to start the day off super strong. And let's see if we can keep getting a bit of follow through and really turn this into an incredible trade. But nothing to rush here, nothing to overtrade. Basically now just watching a green day, a big green day turn into a bigger green day, right? Nothing else to do besides sort of manage our winners. And let's go, guys. A lot of fun. Let's go. Best job in the world, right? Best job in the world. Does everyone understand why we took this trade? All right, so happy to talk us through it here, right? So a lot of bearish pressure here all day, right? If we look at this opening 15-min bar, right, ton of selling pressure. So trend is to the downside, right? We got a lot of sort of that rejection, right? Then it made a low under sort of our breakout target. So our breakout target was that 207.50, right? Made a breakdown under that area. So a lot of selling volume, right? Broke that level like Vivian is saying. And then we waited for that sign of weakness from bulls, right? We waited for bulls to try to recover and reclaim control here. When they did, right, they came back on really, really thin volume, right? Thinnest volume bar of the day and an inside bar. So they weren't able to make higher highs. They weren't able to make lower lows. So really just like a lack of enthusiasm. When we then look at our candlestick cheat sheet, right, we got that least bullish candle there on that least bullish volume. So least bullish volume of the day, least bullish candle, right? Creates a really good opportunity for us to get that really tight risk reward and then that easy follow through here to the downside. So that's exactly what we looked after, right? Strong bears, right? Bulls recovered, but they couldn't. They were super weak. So we had some conviction that that bearish trend was going to continue because bulls were not able to step in and reclaim anything with conviction. So our entry target was the high of that bullish candle because that gave us that sort of tightest, cleanest risk reward. right? And then we're looking for that target towards that next 206.35, right? 205, etc. So once we got that touch, right, that was my entry, 10% stop loss, and then now it's flushing down. So had a lot of bearish strength, right? Saw bulls try to reclaim. Those bulls were weak, right? We know they were weak because it was weak volume and a weak candle. And then we're happy to take advantage of that weakness for that ultimate risk reward setup. So that was the logic there on that Facebook. We had pretty much the same play there on the SPY, but the SPY got a little bit choppier here, right? This breakdown candle, while Facebook then gave us sort of another inside bar, SPY gave us that red hammer. So that's why I stayed away from it and focused on Facebook. Apologies if I didn't communicate that very well at the time, but that was the difference. So we just saw more relative weakness here, right? Again, inside bar consolidation on weaker volume. Again, maybe not the best looking candle, right? Because it's a strong candle, but strong shape, I guess. But again, right, inside bar where it doesn't make higher highs, doesn't make lower lows, right? Doesn't tell us that strength. So that's why we had that conviction. That's why I had that conviction that we're going to get that sort of downside follow through. And now we're in a really good shape here. We're protecting entry. We have that insurance on a breakdown. And hopefully this thing can really run for a huge move. So good job, everyone, right? Fantastic start to the day. 1 for 1. Don't need to do anything else, right? Been super patient. We waited for that to be absolutely perfect. When it was, we took advantage of it. And now let's see if we can get a bit lucky and get big follow through. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, great question, Rich. So blue dots are just inside bar. So means no higher high, no higher low, or no lower low, sorry. So that's just a visual cue for myself. Good question. Yeah, guys, if you ever want to know, I'll explain everything, right? I'll do my best to always explain everything. If T Crone, if that volume was increasing or bigger than this previous candle, then I would have stayed away. But because the volume was weaker, then it still for me just looked like a sign of weakness. So that's why I was happy to jump in. I think even at the same time, I said, right, that it like kind of a nasty candle, but nasty candle and super weak volume. That's what our advantage is, right? As retail traders, guys, our biggest advantage is that we can get in and out whenever we want, right? Essentially. Hey, Pasha. I pretty much only trade options, but the same way you can trade, right, with stocks, right? So my underlying target was on a touch of 208.40, right? So I'm looking always for a touch on sort of the underlying, right, or on the stock, and then I'm just playing it with options. Yeah, good question, Wall Street. So I only trade mostly trade weekly expirations because I'm a scalper, right? So that the time doesn't bother me. But then like on Fridays, I never play same day. Yeah, that's okay, right? Like everyone's got to learn from their mistakes. Everyone's got to learn and improve. Guys, like I said, stop loss here is still 380 on my remainder. Yes, you can. Yeah, with Facebook, you can. You'll definitely have borrow for sure. Facebook, absolutely. With like the big liquid names, you'll always be able to get it. If you're starting to play small caps, then yeah, probably not. But if you're playing large cap names like I play the same 8 tickers, 7-8 tickers, right? SPY, QQQ, Apple, Tesla, Microsoft, AMD, Nvidia, Facebook, and then like a few others here and there, right? If you play those, you can always get borrow for those names. You should always be able to get a fill to the downside if that's what you're looking for. Yeah, so it's actually not it's not something I've mastered here yet, to be very honest with you, Vivian. So I would love to be able to add on to winners here, but I'm not quite confident in how to do that yet in this market, where it's still a little bit choppy. So I do teach options. I mean, I trade with options all the time, and like here, right? Stop loss was 10%, so that was sort of the stop loss, right, on the options. So my entry was 282. If I sold off 28 cents, call it 250, that would have been my stop loss, right? So with options, right, you have to be very disciplined with your position sizing and really disciplined with your ability to trigger stops. But once you're able to do that, if you're able to do that, then you'll do very, very well because the leverage is incredible. So there we go, guys. I got stopped out there on my remainder of Facebook at that 380, right? A little bit more volume than we'd like to see on that inside bar, right? That was probably the trigger. We talked about how on this 955 candle, we wanted to see that decreasing volume, right? Well, here, this was bigger volume on this inside bar than those two signs of weakness, right? So maybe that was sort of a reversal signal. But guys, in at 282, out at, took some off at $4, right? 415. And then, got stopped out at 380. So that's a pretty sick trade, right? Like that's 40% in 15 minutes. I can't really ask for too much better than that, right? Big wins come from a simple, repeatable, consistent process. So we do the same thing every day, right? We do that same muscle memory. We trade like this day in, day out. And when things come together, right, we crush it. And when we lose small. But when we win big. Yo, nice work, Kyle. 420. Happy days, man. Let's go. Good job, everyone. Like a sick start to the day, right? Fantastic start to the day.